1, 2, 3.
Oh, sorry, rats.
Helena just squished one.
Yeah. She was currently holding one and forgot.
Hello and welcome to Hey, I Loved That Movie, the podcast where we rewatch the films we loved when we were younger to see if they still hold up. I'm Dan.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Helena.
And for this episode we watched American Pie.
This is the first one. The original, the OG. Not
The original. I had never seen this.
Really?
Yeah, genuinely. I'd never... I knew of quite a few of the jokes, from, in
Existing?
general.
Just existing?
Yeah, just from existing, yeah. Knowing basic pop culture. I know he fucks a pie.
Yeah.
I know something happens at band camp, and I know Stifler's a cunt.
This film had a shocking impact on culture.
It really did. I can't even tell if it was the first of its kind of this kind of, there are a bunch
Absolutely
of people
not.
trying... No.
Because you had, Revenge of the Nerds and Porky's, but they were, immediately on, weird pop culture film history, they were a lot more aggressive and a lot more, predatory.
Yeah.
This is... it's weird to say American Pie is toned down from, 80s.
Spoilers, but I was very surprised at the end of the movie to have been like, oh, actually, this has gotten good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching it this time. I've seen this a few times, and it's always been sort of deep breath kind of. Some of the jokes are a bit terrible, but there's having watched other films, this film's got a lot going for it.
I was really expecting it to be a lot worse. I was expecting.
Yeah.
I was
waiting for the oof. I was waiting for the gay jokes. I was waiting for the trans jokes. I was waiting for even just the rampant sexism. I was waiting for.
I was expecting this to be the pinnacle of bad, the most Hey, I Love That Movie you could watch, which is from the early 2000s, is incredibly awkward, is aged terribly. This film really isn't. I think the later American Pies are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably get worse. Because the worst bit in this is definitely the streaming and consensually.
Oh, there are bad things. There are horrific things in this.
Absolutely.
And the problem is it doesn't frame them as a bad thing. It frames them as a good thing, actually.
Yeah.
That's the bad part. I mean, there's casual homophobia and there's a lot of sexism.
Well, there is sexism, but I think the way it's portrayed in this film is that this film is very much from the perspective of these sex-crazed, testosterone-ridden teenage boys.
Yeah.
And the girls are actually portrayed a lot smarter, a lot more put together, a lot more in control.
Yeah. And
the guys just see them as sex objects, but
to be fair, they do learn.
Yeah.
The main part of the whole reason the film works is because they learn. To not do that, and that's the whole point of the film.
Actually, women are people too.
Yeah, women should be treated
but
like people.
I think it's one of those things where it's about them learning it, not about the truth being revealed to the audience. From the start that these boys are idiots. They're never presented as anything but
horny teenagers.
No.
But so it's basically the plot is they all make a pact that they want to lose their virginity before prom. Yeah. Or was it before college?
By the end of high school.
Yeah.
So prom is the last night.
Because they're all in their mid-30s. The actor, it's one of those films where you're I just have to get over that the actors are a lot older.
Oh yeah, you adjust. You get your old American. You can't go to high school until you're at least 23 or 28, to be honest.
Yeah. So they are 18.
Yeah, they must be 17, turning 18 because it's your last year of high school.
Yeah.
So we'll have to do the generous thing that we do in all of these ones, where we assume they're all September babies.
Yeah, they're all.
I mean, it's right at the end of the year anyway. So.
I don't really have a problem with portraying 17-year-olds as teenagers that want to have sex. Yeah. Personally, I'm you don't suddenly change at 18. I don't think it's problematic necessarily to say 17-year-olds want to have sex.
Yeah, it's very...
But let's hope that the girl that has a nudity streamed online was 18, I guess.
Yeah. It's a very realistic... Not that bit. The way that they are 17, it's very realistic. it's sensationalized, but it's very like they're not. It's not like Euphoria where they're like fucking supermodels, and they're literally fucking supermodels.
Yeah, they're very much just
they aren't like
very
doing
standard dorky looking guys as well.
They aren't like doing heroin and having orgies. They're like very awkward. Like
everyone's awkward. No one really
awkward.
knows what they're doing.
No,
they're all kind of jealous of each other.
Is it Natasha Lyonne? Is the friend the girl's friend?
I think so. I know. I mean, Tara Reid is in it, but of course,
yeah. Which
it...
that absolutely threw me because I'm like, I only really know her from Orange Is the New Black and then everything she's done since.
What, Natasha Lyonne?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is before she had like a terrible voice.
Oh, I guess but I'm a cheerleader. I sort of remember her in as well.
Yeah. I was just shocked. I was surprised. She looks so young in this. It's weird.
She does.
She's the only.
I mean, don't get me wrong. She doesn't look like a 17-year-old.
She looks the youngest though. She looks the most like appropriate.
But maybe that's because we're used to seeing her kind of playing these more mature.
Yeah, that's true.
Roles, like adult roles.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think Stifler has aged much.
No.
Because he was an adult man.
He was. Yeah.
He's not changed.
You don't tend to age between the age of 38. Like, yeah, I was. But yeah, they're all very realistic. I had this conversation with my coworker when I talked about this. There aren't enough films now that show teenagers that it's okay to be awkward and not
Derry
perfect.
Girls is pretty good.
I mean, like big mainstream films.
Mainstream films, yeah.
Because teenagers always tend to like. There's this air of perfect now. Even if you're messed up, even if you're like Euphoria, you still have to be fucked up in like the most perfect way.
Yeah, it's that grungy but sexy.
Yeah,
and
all the people are supermodels and everyone in it's all like completely unrealistic in every sense of the way. That kind of doesn't having it be very real and you could allow teenagers to be awkward. It's very
Grade was pretty good
now. Like Booksmart was also good. There's a new film called Bottoms, which is apparently really good. But yeah, there isn't enough that's like let teenagers be awkward. Show teenagers that it's okay to be awkward.
Yeah, because you're not going to have your life together at that age. You're not supposed to have done all these amazing things.
Don't know what you're doing.
No.
And that's fine.
Like like I say, it's very realistic for a bunch of 17/18-year-olds for their current purpose in life, their current goal to them is
get laid.
Have sex. Yeah.
It's literally what their bodies is kind of crying out for.
Yeah, especially considering everyone around them supposedly has too, so...
Yeah,
but as you find out, no, they haven't. They're all as fucking awkward
They're
as
all
each other.
lying about it.
I guess Juno was kind of good in that respect, in that they're kind of dorky and dweeby,
but
and
even that was like a while
even that was a
ago.
bit too polished.
And it was a while ago as well. I mean, like now, when you think about being a teenager now and like growing up with, because teenagers' feelings haven't changed.
No.
Like that, but that kind of stuff doesn't exist. Even because like even in Euphoria and the shows that are like that, they're not showing awkward teenagers. They're showing like pretty smooth teenagers that have.
I guess the most recent one would be like the In-Betweeners.
Yeah. But that's some of the things. Like
now.
even that, and like Skins. Skins was like.
Skins first two bouts of Skins, and then the last season did the same thing that the like Euphoria does, where it's like everyone's got to be kind of
edgy
cool and edgy and way too put together, but also falling apart way too dramatically.
Yeah,
like the high stakes for teenagers is supposed to be, you know, they get a bad mark or they get a curfew because they go to a party and get too drunk. It's not supposed to be like you know, they get addicted to cocaine and they get pregnant and they get like. And homeless and all that kind of stuff.
Skins dipped into like the darker stuff every now and then,
yeah.
But it was never like they're out having
not like awkward teenagers.
Massive, but also like they were always awkward, but they were always like out having massive orgies. It's just like they do other dark stuff.
Yeah, I guess maybe Sex Education for. I still haven't.
It's quite
finished
clean
the new
though.
season, but
yeah.
They're
not that. That show's literally about. It's not awkward. It's too slick. You're not like you never watch Sex Education cringe like you do like Inbetweeners and American Pie.
No.
But talking about,
I feel like in Inbetweeners they kind of always almost do what you kind of would want to do in that situation if you're a teenager, whereas in American Pie, like they make pretty terrible mistakes.
Yeah, they make horrific
and foot in mouth
decisions.
stuff like a lot.
Yeah, again, Inbetweeners very clearly inspired by American Pie.
Yeah, Jay is the Stifler of the group.
Well, no, Jay's like the parody of Stifler. Like,
yeah,
Stifler actually does what he says,
which is weird because I was expecting that character not to be. I was expecting him to be more like Jay from the Inbetweeners, where he's constantly bragging about having sex, but instead he was the only one that genuinely did.
I think that's the difference between American and English, though.
Yeah,
American and British, because American is like, yeah, they are like that. They do that. The guy that says it does it. Whereas over here, like, you don't want to admit that the guy that says they do all that stuff actually does it.
Yeah.
Well, the whole point in American Pie, well, not the whole point. But I guess Jay's more like the guy at the start who's like, they're like, oh my god, how's he lost his virginity? How did he pull?
Yeah.
Where it turns out he actually hasn't. Yeah.
He's lying.
And all the girls are horrified.
So do we want to go through the characters?
Yeah.
I couldn't keep track of the names of the characters most of the time. It was a bit difficult. It was only towards the end where I was like, okay, I actually sort of know. It took me until the last 5 minutes to stop writing Tara Reid in my notes.
Yeah, let's talk about the guys in it, the leads.
So you've got Jim.
Jim is the main character, who also has the best dad in the movie because Eugene Levy
incredible,
is hilarious. He's so funny.
Like, you understand, you watch this. American Pie is talked about a lot. You watch it and you go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You go, oh yeah, no, it was really well written and awkward and like terrible things, but also awkward as hell, and incredibly acted.
Like his dad trying to deal with having a horny teenage son, and he's like, his dad's sort of stuck in the middle where he obviously knows horny kids are going to do horny kid stuff, but trying to protect his mum from it as well.
Yeah, because like the film starts with him jerking off watching
bad porn. Like,
yeah, like
is it like trying to get the illegal chat, like the porn channel?
Yeah, which is like fuzzed up if you don't pay for it.
Yeah, and he's like, I think I see a boob, and that's like, that's enough. That reminded me a bit of, was it Kick-Ass?
Yeah,
where it's like him masturbating at the start from like the pictures of topless women in Africa is like, and like just the hint of a boob in a textbook is enough.
Yeah, and then a guy starts talking. He's like, "Yeah, no." But yeah, his mom comes in and is like, "Oh God, I think the chat TV's broken," and the dad comes and goes, "No, he's not watching."
The dad just gets it.
Yeah.
And you kind of think your dad's got it because maybe he's tried to do the similar thing. Maybe not that recently, but has definitely.
Oh yeah, I
think he knows what's up.
Yeah, the whole thing is like, this is very normal.
Yeah.
And it is quite bad that it's like the mum doesn't get it because boys are nasty creatures and girls are the opposite. It's like the mum would be entirely aware.
I think
she would understand too.
Yeah, but maybe it's she just doesn't want to. The denial runs deeper with the mum. I guess because she's never been a teenage boy.
Yeah.
And like teenage girls can don't worry. Like I don't think that teenage girls are like some sort of perfect, sexless, pure virgins or whatever that don't do anything. But they, I think, can be sneakier or more sensible about it.
Yeah.
And they're not. I don't think they're wanking 24/7 as often as boys are at that age.
No one
difficult because I think you only really get to be one or the other as you grow up, so you can't. It's hard to compare what it is like to be a teenager.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the dad is there to essentially say this is very normal.
Yeah.
And it happens to every guy.
Be a bit more subtle, for the love of God,
please. And just like make sure it is very good at like making sure that it's explained that it is normal. And
like his dad really doesn't want him to feel bad.
Yeah, but like here's the ways to do it appropriately.
Yeah, and his dad, like the chat his dad had. I know we're skipping forward a little bit, but like it didn't really matter. Like the chat, his dad comes and like gives him some porn magazines, which I guess helps to stop him from listening to the weird porn channel that he can't access.
But
and he's like, and these are different, and like this is a sort of tries to give him the talk, but he's really trying to feel out like, so how much do you know? How much do I have to explain?
Do you know
what are you comfortable with?
And
like, so the clitoris. Do you know what the? And it's just, and it's so wholesome.
Yeah, but he's got like different kinds of magazines as well. Yeah. This one's called Shaved, and it's such a painful conversation.
It is, and I think that's what's really good is that it's mortifying, and that is the teenage experience.
Yeah,
because you are fucking up in so many different ways all the time, and like oh god, like it does. There's I mean, thankfully my parents never had to do that because I can't imagine, but I can't imagine anything worse.
Yeah, it would have been very useless on me.
Did I tell you about the sex talk my mum gave me?
No.
Don't think so.
She did the standard parent thing of like wait until you're trapped in the car.
Oh yeah, wait until you're moving at high speed.
And started talking to me more about like, oh, if you like a boy, it's like you might feel physically ready, you won't be emotionally ready, which to be fair I think is true. But what she then went really deep into was like, and if a boy wants to lick your ears, don't let him. You don't have to do that. And I'm just like, something happened. So it's just not been that's not my reality. That was never something that but it was then something I was very aware. It was like
a boy's into that?
Is that something that happened? Like, do I have to worry? Like, you know, obviously I'm a teenage girl, I'm sort of concerned they're going to want to put their dick in me at any opportunity, but like the tongue in my ear.
Like, I can tell you, when I was a teenager,
that's the true final goal. Yeah.
Fucking ears.
That's fifth base.
Yeah, that's home base.
I was just like, that just, yeah, I like that's. You give me something to worry about there, but you know.
Do you reckon she was trying to say like a metaphor or like
no,
not be direct?
I don't think so, because the rest of the conversation was pretty frank.
Huh, that's unusual.
So it wasn't like, if he wants to put his tongue in your ear.
Yeah.
I mean, one, why the fuck would you pick that as like the metaphor? Yeah. But two, no, it was like, and don't let, like, you don't have to let them lick your ear.
That's how she ended up with your dad.
I don't know.
Let's not.
But that was awful. That conversation was awful, but would have been 1,000 times worse if it had ended with, and here's some porn.
Yeah.
It's just ears weekly.
She doesn't buy me condoms, she buys me earmuffs.
Earplugs to stop them. Yeah, I don't think I ever had the talk. I ever got told
careful,
the talk.
You'll get hearing aids.
There it is.
That's
a good joke. No, that was good. That was good. I'm gonna let that go. That was really good. I don't think I was ever given the talk, but like I said, it would have been completely lost on me anyway. Just completely lost.
Yeah, it's hard. Sometimes I'm like, would it have benefited me to have a better? But yeah, I like as an adult now, I'm like, when do you know when's appropriate? Because kids are so different. They age at such different rates, and like even in this small group, like they're ready for different things in different ways.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is about sex, but what they want from the sex is all quite different.
Yeah, they want the relationship as well. Yeah. For them, like a lot of them want that.
They want to be in love. They want it to be nice and.
Well,
it's not about.
Some of the characters are getting like. I mean, the guy that's with Tara Reid, he's basically getting head all the time, and he's just like, I want to have sex properly, but this is all we do. And then he comes in a beer and Stifler drinks it.
That was gross.
That was like the first American Pie moment.
Yeah, because the only American Pie thing that I think I have actually seen is Stifler eating a dog shit at a wedding.
That's the
he thinks
later
it's
one.
Chocolate.
Yeah, that's like the later ones get a bit bad. But yeah, he's like, that whole scene was. So there's the main guy, Jim. There's his friend that's with his girlfriend, and they haven't had sex, but he really wants
Kevin.
to. Yeah, and she like wants to wait until she's in love with someone, and it's very like.
She wants to be in love. They want to say "I love you" to each other.
Yeah.
Well, she said "I love you," and he hasn't said it yet.
Well, he can't. Like he has that. Like he doesn't want to say it in case it's.
He doesn't want to say it and not mean it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to lead her on.
Which is
in that way, yeah.
Ironically, like, oh wow, she is the same with sex. Like, she'll say I love you, but she won't. It's weirdly enough, they learn from each other.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Chris
that whole
or Oz, who's the other guy, he's just.
Can we talk about the cum scene?
Yeah.
The beer scene. As horrifying.
Yeah. Why would you choose that out of all the things in the room? Get a tissue, for fuck's sake.
Well, it was a beer.
Yeah.
Oh, like, at least throw it away. Or put a tissue in it or something so that no one drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't leave it.
Yeah.
Take it with you.
Gross. Like, so much. Yeah, like leaving your jizz anywhere is disgusting.
Leaving it in a beer by a bed? Also, the fact that, like, the whole scene's quite well done because it's like, oh, he's not going to drink it, or she's going to drink it. That's it. The whole scene was like, she's going to drink it, she's going to drink it.
That was funny. That did actually really tickle me.
It was really good. But the way that they're all stood around and laughing at him, I'd be like, I don't think I'd react like that. I'd be like, oh,
I'd be horrified.
Traumatic for you.
And, like, also, how could you look your friend in the eye knowing that they drunk your jizz?
It's a power move, really.
I don't know. I feel like that's a real friendship ender.
Yeah, there's a lot in this film that should end friendships, and it doesn't. Because
they're all teenagers and they don't know anyone else. So.
No, they're all incredibly comfortable around each other, and they don't act like it, but they are. They're way too comfortable around each other to be like, yeah, he drank my jizz. I don't think
this whole like American thing as well as like I don't know if it's an American thing or because it didn't happen, but it didn't happen at the parties that I was invited to, of like people like sneaking off to bedrooms to have sex.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah,
but it was like, and then like the whole like trade. Okay, you're done with this room. We need the room now.
Oh yeah, no, not that.
That was weird.
And it was never like two random people. It was like the people that were already a couple.
Yeah, I think
would like sneak off, but you're okay with it. You're like, as long as it's not
sort of like
house.
End of the night, like when people are settling down and finding somewhere to sleep.
Yeah,
not like randomly at a party.
Yeah. Like there are so many stories of like people that were like, oh yeah, I fell asleep in the room with these two people and I woke up and she was giving him head. Like I remember that a lot of that happening.
But it was subtle.
Yeah, it was like
as subtle as teenagers can be, I guess.
You just heard that story and you're like, oh okay. Yeah. It wasn't like how terrible, like, alright, sorry that happened to you.
But I imagine if you came in a cup and then someone else drank it, you would be ostracized from your school.
You'd have a very weird conversation, I think.
I can't imagine. Like, it's one of those ones where I feel like the school would probably have to intervene and try and resolve the.
Oh, you'd get like a nickname for life.
Yeah.
Forever.
Spaff lips.
Or like you'd be like with your. Well, I don't think even that. I feel like if it happened, because I don't remember that. I might have just not been invited now I think about it. But like, I don't remember there being like massive parties that everyone in the school went to.
No, definitely
it was like.
Not.
Again, did we just not get invited?
The only parties were like, I guess what I used to do at my old one-bedroom apartment. There wasn't really room for everyone to go off and.
But like everyone,
also
everyone
there were
went,
like 7 people there. So.
Everyone went to the parties of their friend groups.
Yeah.
I guess like, we weren't the particularly horny group then. Maybe.
I don't think we were the cool kids. I'm sorry to
what?
say.
Well, I don't think in
speak
in
for yourself.
Schools, I don't think in British schools there are such thing as cool kids.
There were cool. I'm not going to lie. I think there were cooler kids than me.
No, there were cooler kids, but like
there were, but especially at that age, what I found was when I was in sixth form, that sort of like sort of 17 to 18, everyone was just kind of fine with each other because that's the point that everyone realised, oh shit, we're all people and we're all fucked.
But even before that, like. There is no cool group. There's no cool. There's people that people like that everyone likes.
Ours was much more geographical, I think.
Yeah,
it was like there were kids that all like hung out with each other, and they all lived around. Like some of them even went to the same primary school because they lived all around the same area, and obviously they were better friends, and it was quite a big group of them. So like they were popular in that they had lots of friends, but it wasn't like they were different in any way. It was just a geographical sort of thing. Whereas I didn't have many friends, and I lived in a different town.
Yeah. And it also wasn't like everyone wants to be their friend. They're so cool.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Friends. I remember like I hung out with a few of them sometimes, and it was like we had a nice time. Nothing went wrong. We didn't have a fight or anything. It was just like
just
it's
live
effort
somewhere.
to go and visit these people that are quite a way away when you have no like decent means of transport.
Yeah,
And
like
they're no better than the other ones that are closer.
Yeah. Like there's definitely cliques, but they're not hierarchical. They're not like that clique is better than this clique. It's like no, there are groups of mates, and you go to each other.
I feel like there wasn't quite as much us and them kind of stuff going on.
I feel like if you went to a party, it'd be party with your mates. And if you accidentally drank their jizz, it wouldn't get out.
Yeah, I went to plenty of house parties, and yeah, gross stuff would happen, but it would be humiliating. It wouldn't be like sexual. Like one guy was sick on himself, and that was pretty rank, and that sort of thing happens. But
but it wouldn't like go around the whole school and everyone knows. You'd just be like, fuck, no one cares.
No, the only one that I went to that was an actual disaster was this girl. She did a house party for, I think it was her 18th, and she didn't get any. It was supposed to be all outside. She got like put in the effort to like lay down loads of tarps and stuff to like protect the grass.
Right.
But then the only bathroom was in the house up the stairs.
Yeah.
So the house got not trashed because people weren't like hanging out inside, but they did. Like the stairs were fucked and the carpet was ruined because it was a cream carpet.
Yeah, if you care about your house in any way, don't have a house party. It'll get wrecked.
It doesn't necessarily have to get wrecked, but it doesn't take much for things to go. If you've got a cream carpet, it will get dirty.
It'll get damaged.
Yeah, especially people going in and out from outside as well.
Especially if they get drunk.
Probably pissing all over the floor in the bathroom as well.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think she had cream carpet in the bathroom, but it was just the carpet got wrecked, and that was the bit like you can tidy up mess. You can even fix a broken window. You can clean a dirty table, but you can't necessarily get hundreds of footprints out of a cream carpet.
No, not without anyone noticing.
I don't, she wasn't like ostracized, like she was in trouble with her parents were obviously pretty pissed off, but like her punishment was she had to buy a new carpet, which I think was pretty fair.
And also, like, no one else in the school cares. Like,
that's the other issue, though, is that no one's like chipping into the carpet fund.
Well, no, because she hosted the party.
Well, yeah, like
that's on her.
Right back.
Yeah, that's on her. You can't be like, wow, everyone came here and existed in the space that I invited them to.
Yeah, it's like, well, yeah, if you really do... Because I've been to a birthday party, like, I think years and years before, and what they'd done is they had a similar issue there, and they'd hired some portaloos, and people just didn't go in the house, and it's like, that's... Yeah. You can't expect people to come to a party and not need the toilet.
Use the loo. Yeah.
But I think also a girl, like, took a load of ketamine and overdosed or something at that party, but...
I'm sorry, that's... Yeah, that's not her fault. That's not the host's fault.
Yeah, no, that one... I don't know. That one was like, and I must admit, I was so oblivious. I didn't know that was happening.
I imagine that overshadowed the carpet quite quickly.
I don't think she overdosed, and that she had. I think they had to call a paramedic, but she didn't have to go to hospital or anything. Like she was fine, but obviously you're pretty cautious at that age when your friend's freaking out and you don't know how much or what they've taken.
I went to a couple house parties where ambulances got called.
Yeah,
but only for,
I've called ambulances for housemates as well.
That was like uni as well. We had that a couple times.
Yeah, no, this was more at uni that happened for me.
It was at uni. It was more of like someone took something and they didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I had my friend. She just got really high and like smoked a lot of weed and got really drunk. And it was like she was fine, but then she started talking about like she sort of stopped making sense.
Yeah, like,
and it was like, okay, you seem to be getting worse, not better.
Yeah, we need to call someone.
That's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And she was fine. She was then horrendously sick, and then she was fine. But like the first year med students being like, don't leave her on her own.
Anyway, drinking your mate's juice. I just wanted to talk about that scene because it was
I'd
weird.
Never talk to them again.
Yeah, I'd struggle to hold a conversation.
And like
that wasn't specifically about that moment.
Hey, remember that time?
I wouldn't. It'd be when I talked to the only thing I could think about.
My husband has a really gross story it's similar. It's not his story, so it's nothing to do with him. It's from his friends told him about when they were he ended up with his housemates in first year when he was at uni. I think they I can't remember. Anyway, I'm not going to name names. Private school boys, and they jizzed in someone's mouthwash. And didn't tell him until he'd used all of the mouthwash.
That's sexual assault.
Yeah, it's
that's
disgusting.
Straight up sexual assault. That's straight up sexual assault. like
because it's on purpose as well. It wasn't they were trying, like, this one, at least the innocent part is that he didn't expect anyone to drink it. He just didn't dispose of his
this
correctly.
Isn't the crime of this film. There is another crime, but this was a genuine accident where it was like he just assumed no one would drink an open beer.
Yeah, I mean, also, like, there's a little bit of response. The onus is also on, like, don't just pick up a random drink and drink it.
Yeah,
because Stifler and that other girl literally burst into the room and like
like
get them
right
to
after
straight away. So it's like they don't really get a chance to.
And if you do find a drink and you want to drink it, fucking sniff test. Look at it. Check for jizz.
Does it smell salty?
Look at it. Does it have like a thin layer over it?
Has someone jizzed in it?
Yeah. Has it got a weird coagulated liquid in it?
Does it smell like cum?
Don't drink cum beer, guys.
But yeah, what you just described as straight up sexual assault.
Yeah, no, I was horrified about that, and I think they are also horrified that they did that. But that's, teenage boys can be horrible, gross idiots, and I think this film portrays them in.
That's what this film's about.
Yeah, they are gross idiots, but thankfully not quite as bad as some can be, I guess.
Yeah. Like you're such a gross idiot that when you try and fuck the apple pie, you don't take it to your bedroom. You just do it right in the kitchen.
We'll get to the apple pie. We'll get to it.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't heard of that scene though? Like, that's not.
But also that scene, like, I was expecting that scene for some reason to go on a lot longer, but it's really short.
It's really short.
It just sticks in the mind.
Yeah.
It's because it's so fucking weird.
It's like warm apple pie.
Yeah, well, he's asking his other friend who...
Like, what's it like to actually put the D in the P?
Well, he says second base.
It's third base, so it's like fingering someone.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, it's like putting your fingers in warm apple pie. Which, I mean, why would you shove your fingers in an apple pie?
You cut off then, I really hope you said apple pie. Because you
I
said,
did say apple pie.
To me, you said, why the fuck would you shove your fingers in and then it cut off? I was like, damn.
Oh, God.
Really hope
maybe we do need to get some charts out for you.
Explains a lot.
So you need the book, which I guess we'll get to as well.
That's how you fucking apple pie is definitely how you get an infection of some sort.
Yeah, that's a lot of like sugar and stuff up your bits of it's going to go down there, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, at least you're not, like, I guess Americans are mostly circumcised, so it's not going to get caught in the skin.
Gunked up.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway. Is there anything that would make you more, like, just more humiliated than having to stand in the shower and, like, clean apple pie out of your, like, foreskin folds?
Yes, actually, I know exactly what it was. Drinking my mate's gin.
Or having your dad walk in while you're balls deep in pie.
I mean, if someone ate the pie, that would have been worse. At least they just pretend they ate it.
So, like, the slightly more wholesome arc is Oz, who I don't think we've talked about yet. Is it Oz?
No.
The singer?
Yeah, Oz, yeah. His name, Chris, but everyone calls him Oz.
The, what's it called? What's the sport he does?
Lacrosse.
Lacrosse.
From Teen Wolf.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to say that's a Teen Wolf thing, isn't it?
That's a Teen Wolf thing. Yeah, not a Teen Wolf.
Yeah, he joins the choir.
It's like a jazz choir to get girls, but he ends up really enjoying singing.
It's because he tries to sleep with a college girl at the beginning, and he's like, "Blow me," essentially. He's like, "Will you?"
Like he's like, "Yeah, what does he say? It's like, "Now blow me" or something.
Yeah, he's like, "You're beautiful, suck my dick."
Yeah, you're beautiful.
And then like drops a load of other lines on her, and she's like, "Oh, honey, no."
Yeah, she's not revolted. She pities him.
Yeah,
which is just so much worse for his ego.
Yeah,
I don't blame her at all. Like, she's totally in the right.
You need to grow. Well, this film is really good because I was fully expecting the women in it to be flat and 2D,
to be like the girls in Without a Paddle.
Yeah, and like just be lampshades and dresses and like whatever the men do around them. But no, it's actually like the first.
The women actually have a slightly better idea of things.
Well, yeah. The first like woman that you meet is the college girl, like properly is like the college girl, and her first thing when she's a talk to like that is don't talk to women like that. Yeah. You need to talk to them like they're people.
Yeah.
but also not in like a scolding way, in like a you clearly haven't been taught how to talk to women.
Yeah, like this is your first rodeo.
Yeah, and that's someone else's fault, not yours. You need to talk to women like they're people. And he's like, He's like, be sensitive. When you ask a question, actually listen.
Yeah.
And he's like, So his whole arc is like he's learning. Well, he's pretending to be sensitive. He's like, how do I pretend to be sensitive?
And he's like, well, I need to rebrand. And doesn't he call them like an untapped resource or something? The like quiet girls, because American schools are so massive that you can really get away with not knowing. Like
most people,
like a lot of your class, like not classmates, but like a lot of your people, and like they don't. It sounds like they don't really follow the same kind of. I guess they're streamed or something for all their classes.
Yeah, I can't work out how popular these characters are.
I think they're just mid tier.
Then they're not like super popular, but they're not like the uncool kids. But Stifler,
they're getting invited to parties. But
well, Stifler's
the one that hosts the parties because he's, I guess, got rich parents. They've got a big house.
Yeah.
And his mum's a MILF, apparently.
Yeah,
we'll guess like at the end. Rich divorcee. Doesn't mind what her son gets up to. Enjoys hanging out in her like ex-husband's man pad.
Yeah, he's cool because he hosts. He gets to have the cool parties. That's pretty much it. But we have here the lacrosse guy who's just kind of pretending to be sensitive. He learns that actually talking to women like they're women is better.
And they're interesting and can have, goals and desires.
Separate from the men. And that's his whole thing. And then you have the most pretentious dickhead.
Yes, he's so pretentious. Yeah. I love it, though. I thought it was so funny. I love that it works.
Yeah. Well, it's fully like... I've forgotten his name, but he's essentially like, I'm better than everyone here. I don't drink coffee, I drink mocha, and it's not coffee, it's...
Yeah, he's the pretentious dickhead. I think he's called Finch.
Yeah. He's like, it's not coffee, it's a mochaccino. I can't go to the loo here at the school because have you seen the facilities? Even though I think...
it's kind of like, so is he slightly on the spectrum? Sort of.
Yeah.
In the way he acts is like very... very mature for his age, but not in an actual adult way. He's very much trying to be what he thinks is grown up.
Yeah, which is like
and sophisticated.
I drink fancy Italian coffee, which isn't fancy or Italian. I don't do this. I don't use the toilets here. I eat properly and blah blah blah. And he's such a dick.
Yes.
And part of his thing of he doesn't develop as a character. He's the same throughout. He gets rewarded for it. We'll talk about that because it's kind of fucked. His whole way to get laid is he just lies. He asks he pays Natasha Lyonne to lie for him, which I would always. Yeah. I'd pay Natasha Lyonne to lie for me.
Yeah, because she goes around telling other people that like he slept with older women and that he's got a big dick and things like that. Yeah,
which is always the funniest lie.
Yeah, because it's very obvious when
Well, the goal is to get to the point where they find out it's a lie.
Yeah.
But if things are getting hot and heavy before then, will they mind? Or maybe he does have a big dick, but no one knows because no one's seen it.
It's heavily implied he doesn't, because they're all like, that's not true.
Maybe his friends haven't seen it ready to go.
He screams insecure. They're all insecure. He screams it.
Well, yeah, it's like he's so uncomfortable being a teenager that he's trying desperately not to be.
Yeah. And he's such an arrogant fucker that he gets his comeuppance because Stifler gives him laxatives.
Yes, really, yeah. And that was... Poisoning your friend isn't a very funny prank.
No.
But making your friend go to the toilet who hates going to the toilet at school because not because he's got a horrible germophobia or a really triggering, like... anything like that. He just thinks that it's beneath him.
Yeah. And has been lying and every girl believes that he's this super suave, mysterious individual. And you're like, he deserved his comeuppance.
Yeah. And it's like, I guess they're friends because they can sort of forgive.
Yeah.
So they're the only ones who probably could get away with taking him down a peg or two.
One of them drank the other one's cum. I think they're all pretty close with each other. But I also remember that poisoning your mate, when you think about it, was a pretty common prank.
with laxatives.
I mean,
though.
yeah,
like, you can make someone really ill.
No, I haven't. I want to say I haven't, but I've like seen at parties people have been like, what if I put Viagra in my mate's drink? Like,
where are you getting Viagra from?
I mean, everyone jokes about that, but I don't remember it ever actually happening.
I've seen people do that.
Oh.
Yeah, but like when you're a teenage boy, it's kind of like I guess that's kind of funny. Now it's like, oh, that's just straight up poisoning someone.
And I also think, like, the repercussions, I'd be like, if you literally poison someone at school, you will probably get expelled and not finish your exams.
This wasn't at school. This was, like, at house parties.
Yeah, but I mean, if you do it at school, yeah, gone. You're gone. The whole point is to get him to poo at school.
Yeah.
And boy, does he let rip. In the girls' bathroom?
Well, it's because Stifler's like, over here, and doesn't tell him.
Yeah.
Because he wants him to shit himself in front of the girls. Really. Yeah. But yeah, it's just, and then like, do we want to talk about the ending, his ending?
That he sleeps with Stifler's mum.
The last fucked bit in the film.
We haven't talked about the streaming, the masturbating Polish girl yet.
True.
But the I don't have a big problem with him. I'm pretty sure it didn't it coin the term MILF, this film?
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think it made it more well-known, I guess, but I don't know.
I just don't like... She comes across as an adult, she comes across as really predatory.
Yeah, because she says that line about the scotch of, like,
it's 18.
17 years old, just how I like it.
She says 18.
18.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because if it was 17, it would be straight up illegal.
Yeah.
And I think that's what bothers me, is the way she's like... Because it's kind of, as a teenager, it was always like, oh, because he's so adult, she wants to sleep with him because he's clearly, like, maturity level on her level. Watching it now, I'm like, she's stroking his ego so she can sleep with him.
Yeah, because he's just the kind of narcissistic prick kind of guy.
I think because of the absolute lack of convincing it takes for him to sleep with her, I don't feel like she particularly grooms him or anything really predatory, but it's like, come on, girl, you should not be having sex. But we're also programmed to, like, girls have sex with older men all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, like, seen like, oh, but it's also, in films, it's really not a big deal. And this sort of does show you, like, you know, the other side of it, the opposite gender. Like, if you gender swap it, then it is makes you think a bit harder about it.
I don't think the film wants you to think about it, though. I think the film is like, they sleep together. I think it's the being an adult, and like, I can't look at an 18-year-old and be like, that's a full-grown adult. Like, I look at an 18-year-old and go, that's a child.
Yeah, but they can still make decisions about their own bodies.
Oh, no, 100%. I don't want to take... No, I meant, like, my perception of an 18-year-old isn't...
I couldn't imagine being attracted to an 18-year-old.
No. I
wouldn't want to sleep with one.
Yeah, in my head, they're a
I don't think I count as a MILF, but I
yeah.
I don't want to... Yeah, no, it's not my cup of tea.
But, like, in my head, they're not... Okay, it's not... No. I don't know why. Oh, I know why, because they're fucking too young. But, yeah, it just... I can't imagine looking at someone that young and being like, I'm attracted to that.
But, you know, maybe she's also divorced. She's not really had anyone pay attention. He is desperately trying to sweep off her feet. There's
no way that's true. Like, the way she carries herself, there's no way that's true. That she's not, like...
pulling on the reg.
Yeah, she's sexually liberated.
I guess. I didn't have a massive problem with it. I thought it was...
It's not
quite funny. It fulfills this fantasy that is quite common. Of,
100%.
It's his arc isn't really. His arc is the humiliation of having to poo at school and getting over that, and then actually, I think turning out that he is actually quite good at sex, and he is like surprised when she's like, "You're really good."
Yeah,
and he's like, "I am." He's kind of his arc of like, actually, that fake confidence he had doesn't need to be fake. He can just be confident after that. And then when he's like later, once they meet up at the end, he is like a bit better,
chiller. Yeah,
a bit more chill, a bit less pretentious, a bit, you know, because he has actually found out something about himself. I mean, it's weird that the message is that he's found out that he's quite good at sex.
Yeah,
I suppose it's also like he was the one that was sort of getting bullied a lot, and he got laxatived by Stifler, so I guess that him fucking Stifler's mum is also him getting his own back on.
Yeah, definitely.
In a way. Yeah.
That's true. But yeah, I also think it's like he realizes that the maturity that his insecurity hides, and like his false maturity, he doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have to be insecure about being a teenager.
Don't wish your life away.
Yeah, again, not the ickiest thing in the film. Let's talk about the ickiest thing in the film. Let's talk about the crime that was committed.
So, what's his name? Jim. Gets approached by a sexy Polish girl whose name I can't remember.
Nadia.
I
think it's Nadia. Yeah.
To help with, and it's so surreal because this was the one bit that I was just like, well, this doesn't happen.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, this is the weirdest bit.
She goes round. Oh, it's like she asks him to tutor her or like go through like their homework together for what was it like geography class or something?
Yeah.
And
like world history.
She's like, I'll come round after ballet, and he's like, okay, yeah, you can get changed in my room. And Stifler's all like, you should film that and share the link with us.
Put a webcam on it.
Very.
Yeah.
I mean, at least the best, well, not the best part. The good thing is that like it was a link that was only sort of able to share organically, like it wasn't posted on a website, but it was still like so many people saw.
He still accidentally sent it to the whole school.
Doesn't matter how many people he sends it to. It's incredibly illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't film anyone without their consent getting changed. Yeah. It's a big problem, and it's the way that they present it as kind of okay, and that she's kind of almost like she's into it.
Yeah, and the
funny part is that then he obviously wants to go and get with her, but then he embarrasses himself on camera in front of everyone.
Well, I think like the problem with this scene is that like every other bad thing these people do is shown as bad. It's explicitly been like, this is a bad thing to do. This doesn't have that, because they do not have, the only consequences they have to this is social. The girl, however, gets a serious consequence and is removed from the film. That's fucked.
Yeah, we don't see her again, do we?
She's deported.
She's like, webcamming him at the end of the film.
She's deported from the country. In a throwaway line, they're like, they found out, and her sponsors found out, saw the video, and she's been deported. It's like, that, she didn't even know.
Yeah.
No.
Fucked. But yeah, she gets dressed.
I mean, also her just like getting changed, getting naked, and then looking through his stuff and starting to like masturbate just in his bedroom.
Weird, not illegal. Not illegal.
No, but like also not something that happens.
No, not at all.
Yeah, that was the weird fantastical part of it. Was that it was like, oh yeah, this really hot, sexy girl that said she wants to come over with the pretense of homework is now naked masturbating in your bed. That's just not.
Yeah.
That's just not a thing. Like at worst, steal a porn mag to masturbate to later.
Yeah.
Like, and that would be weird. To be fair, that would be a very strange thing to do, because it's like he would notice he only had 3. It's not like she's
unless
stolen his collection.
Her plan is to sleep with him. Like, that's her whole plan, because she does kind of flirt with him earlier.
Yeah, but it's
yeah, and then she is, even when he walks in, she's like
I think
into that too.
I think her plan was to sleep with him.
Yeah,
completely.
But that's also just not a thing that happens.
No,
girls don't just especially foreign girls you don't know. That you have a class with, don't suddenly go, can I come around your house on the pretense of this and have sex with you? Like, no matter how sexually liberated you are, like, that's just...
That's too forward. That's too forward. Yeah, 100%. It's not at all realistic. And what's, other than, like, it being a crime, what's also strange is he goes to his mate's house to watch, and then his mate, very teenage boy, is like, just walk, when she's flicking the bean, he's like, just walk in and say you want to sleep with her. And it's like...
He's like, say, do you want another hand?
Do you need a hand with that? And it's like, that is a very teenage boy thing to just think.
That's very similar to the line in at the start, like, you're beautiful, blow me. It's so crass. It's so not supposed to work. And it is weird how it kind of... Because this isn't the joke, it kind of works, because they have to get to the point where they have the joke, and the joke is that he, like, comes in his pants as soon as she starts, like, touching his leg.
Well, even like, before that, it's weird that they're like, go home and sleep with this girl so I can watch you.
Yeah, it's weird that he doesn't try and stop the camera at any point.
He throws his jumper over it.
He does.
And then the jumper falls off.
Yeah, because when he's stripping, I thought he was going to keep throwing his clothes at it or something, but...
Yeah, he tries to cover it, and I assume he just thinks it's covered. But, like, as his friends, I wouldn't be, I want to watch this. I don't think there's...
Yeah, as your friend, you'd feel the urge to run, because obviously you've shown that they will live around the corner from each other. Run to his house and knock on the door, so interrupt to anything to get your mate off of the camera.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna, like at least like I'm not gonna watch. I don't want to watch that.
Yeah,
because they don't know. Well, a couple of them know that it's being shown to like loads of people.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He doesn't know that it's gone. Yeah,
Stifler's just watching it with his
little brother, which is again also weird. If I thought it was like just me and like a few other people watching, I'd be like, I'm just not going to watch it. I'm not going to stop him. I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah.
That's weird. That would be weird. And again, like the cum cup wouldn't be able to talk to him again.
Yeah, I'd be so... But I this whole filming without permission thing is so... Like, egging him on and being like, oh, she wants to like have sex with you, and him like totally misreading it and like being convinced that she wants to have sex with him when she doesn't, but then maybe he puts the idea in her head and they end up having or doing something anyway, would have been fine. But this idea that it had to be streamed. And that it's just awful, and it's so like exploitative, and it's like the fact that she gets deported is just minging.
It's so out of place with the rest of the film as well.
Yeah. Because that's such a serious thing to happen.
Yeah, all of the and all the other bad stuff they do is explicitly bad, and they get punished for it one way or another.
And it's bad to the other boys as well.
Yeah, like
they do stupid. They play stupid games and win stupid prizes.
Yeah,
as well. I do think she was being a bit stupid. I don't think she should. She's not responsible for checking the place for cameras.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
Even if she'd only got changed, that would have been so...
That's still a crime.
Humiliating anyway.
That's still absolutely a crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's... Because he sends it to the whole school.
Yeah.
Also, I don't sit there and watch my school email when I was in school. I wasn't like refreshing it every 2 seconds. I'd have got that email.
I guess you only need one person who's late doing their homework to find out about it and be like, hey, check this out. And then everyone's got it. And then
I'd be like,
forward the link to your whatever chat.
I'd be like, no, I don't want to watch this guy from my school have sex. That's weird.
No, thank you. I'm good.
Depends on who it is. No.
Well, I guess at the start, it's not, though. At the start, you're just watching this girl masturbate, which I think would appeal to a lot of teenagers.
Again, I'm not the audience for that.
Well, yeah, there is that.
And also, I think I'd have felt fucking weird about it. 100%.
Yeah, well, I remember when this girl had loads of nudes, like, discovered at my school that she'd taken, and, like, it was lots. And I feel like I'm pretty much the only person at the school who didn't see them, because I was like, I don't want to see them. Like even if I think she's pretty and everything, like, that doesn't mean I feel entitled to see her naked.
Yeah, that's horrible. And, like, I have friends, I've seen so many of my friends naked because they have OnlyFans. OnlyFans.
I mean, you got to support your friends, you know.
Not deliberately, but, like, when you have them on, like, friends lists and stuff, and you just kind of get used to it. That's like, completely different, consensual, and they're old enough.
Yeah.
Anything then, I've just been like, no, that's weird.
Yeah, stuff you're putting out yourself on the internet with, like, informed consent.
Yeah.
Is very different to having a live stream where you don't know there's a live stream. It would be, I mean, even, like, in a toilet would be horrible, or anywhere. Even, like, if I found out someone was filming me in my kitchen, I'd be so freaked out.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a huge violation of your privacy.
It's a very serious crime, and they get no...
There's no repercussion. Like, he should have been expelled and prosecuted.
He gets a repercussion. He gets rewarded for it.
Yeah.
Because she touches him, he jizzes almost instantly.
Yeah.
And then a couple minutes later, he tries again, and it happens again, which he's got an incredible refractory period.
I mean, that's teenage boys for you, isn't it?
That's true.
I assume.
I mean, that was pretty quick.
That was
that was
like
too
seconds. That was that would have been painful. But
so,
what?
Oh, I was just going to finish what you were saying, but we watched the same film, so I'm sure you're going to say the same thing as me.
Well, I was going to say, later on in the film, at the very end of the film, when he gets laid, it's because of that video.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he ends up getting with
Michelle.
The band girl.
This
one time from Bandcamp.
And my god, that fucking haunted me at school.
Yeah.
So I'd not heard like the proper full-on ending. Everyone just says this one time at band camp. I'd not heard the ending of this one time at band camp.
Yeah.
So I played the flute all the way through high school. So I had that line said to me so many times, and like people genuinely asking me, like, "Have you ever put it up there?"
No, that would be uncomfortable.
Yeah, obviously I haven't.
Have you seen how ridged it is?
Yeah. Also, it's very difficult to play like that.
Hell of a skill.
It's cold.
I can play 2 flutes at once.
Oh my goodness!
Not the way you think.
I can play 3 if I can.
Now if that was leaked, that is something I would probably watch out of curiosity.
Just
girl plays flute with pussy. I'd be like, I mean, this isn't sexual for me, but
yeah,
just curiosity.
I just want to know. But yeah, so that's like where that comes, because the joke is that she's saying all these innocent things of blah blah.
Oh yeah, we played spin the bottle. Oh, it was like we had to play this game, and like we did this and we did that, and it's like, and then the ball drops. There's like this one time at band camp, I stuck a flute up my pussy, and he's just like, we got to say what? And then she's like,
everything else has just been so standard.
Yeah, and it's because sex is so like normal.
Yeah, like these band camps they go to, everyone's hooking up all the time, and she's like, it's basically like 1 part band, 2 parts sex ed.
Yeah, it's like, so she drags them into a room and is like, "We're gonna have sex."
Yeah, it's like, when are we gonna have sex? Because I'm getting kind of antsy.
Yeah.
Which I liked as being like really direct.
Yeah, but he's getting rewarded for the video.
Yeah, but she's like, "You were a sure thing." After I saw that video, because he's attracted to her because she's like, "What video?"
She doesn't know. Yeah,
he thinks she hasn't seen it. But it turns out she has, and she was like, "Well, of course she's
okay with it."
Yeah,
she's.
But I think because he's such a not pariah, but he's socially outcast, sexually outcast at that point.
Yeah.
That she said that he's a sure thing.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not great. But then he's like, she used me, and then he's like, she used me, and it's like, okay, I get that, like you got something out of it and everything, but it was such a weird message.
It's weird that everyone else kind of gets laid in like a developed way.
Yeah.
Like
meaningful sex. He has not meaningful sex.
Yeah, like guy has sex with, which is fine, but like it's strange that everyone else gets that development and they get that, like they learn to be a better person and then they get laid is kind of the rule.
Yeah.
He just doesn't do that. He just gets laid and is rewarded for doing a terrible thing.
He doesn't really have a character arc apart from he does get laid,
Yeah, pretty much.
Because because there's the, nice character arc of Chris, who, gets with the girl from choir and is like, actually, no, I really like this girl. Like,
and he even sings with her, and he kind of like, they go and...
The big lacrosse game, he
leaves lacrosse to sing, and it's like, oh.
And that is pretty much the biggest gesture you can do as a teenage boy, I think.
Well, he goes from like, I'm going to pretend to be a good person to sleep with you, to actually, you've made me a better person.
Yeah, and he's like, I actually really want to be with you. It's not the sex part. Like he wants her to be happy. He wants to make her feel better after he feels like he's made her feel bad.
Yeah, because Stifler basically fucks it up by like,
and
then
pretending he's having sex in front of her.
We need to talk about the book now because this is important. Because
the sex Bible, the mystery.
Tara, I forgot the guy. Her boyfriend, the guy
Kevin,
calls his brother, and his brother's like, he's essentially going, how do I do cunnilingus? And he's like,
how do I give a girl an orgasm?
Well, he's like, how do I get her to want to love? How do I get her to love me? And he's like, you get her to love you by
giving her an orgasm.
Giving her an orgasm. And he's like, I've given her loads of orgasms. And that bit with Leone.
Yeah,
whatever her character is called.
She's great. I love.
It's like, I think I was like, nope, and they're like, yeah, but that's one time, nope, because she's confirmed that she's never had this girl's never had an orgasm.
Well, she's like, if you think you haven't, like if you think,
if you're not sure, you haven't.
You haven't.
Yeah.
And his brother's like, there's a Bible, there's a book. It was a book.
In Fluid Dynamics, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which I thought was great.
Like hidden under that,
that people have like written in and thingy, and you have to put it back. And what's
the shit people had to do before the internet got good.
Yeah. What was weird about that scene when they were looking through the book and it was all ooh ah? It had like mystical, quote unquote, Oriental music over the top.
Yeah, that was a bit strange.
It was a bit odd because it wasn't like it was a Kama Sutra, which makes more sense.
There were a couple of bits of Kama Sutra in there, but then the rest of it was just like handwritten random shit, and then the secret folded page of the tongue tornado.
Yeah, but you'd think like the base book would be the Kama Sutra, but it isn't.
Yeah. No, it's just like this weird compiled like.
I guess they thought we'll go for a mystery sound,
and
they landed on that, which is
questionable
quite of its time.
Oriental music.
Him going down in there was quite a funny scene though.
Yeah. When he pulled the book out. Not of her, just
just from under the bed.
Just from under the bed.
But no, the bit. Well, I mean, that was funny, but like the fact that she's he's like, keep quiet. You're like, your parents are home.
Yeah.
And the mother's downstairs, like, can you let her know it's dinner time? And Dad goes upstairs, and she's like, I'm coming, and he just goes, oh, and like walks back downstairs.
Just turns around, like, nope.
Like he's like thinking that she said that I'm coming, like downstairs for dinner, and it's that I thought was quite funny.
Well written.
And then, in the end, they, like, those two characters end up having sex as well and say they love each other. And then she's like, I'm going to a different school across the country. Like, it's probably not going to work. And she just didn't want to admit that.
I think, I don't think she did anything wrong in that, though.
No, I think it's fine to, like, I want to wait until we're ready, but that doesn't mean we're going to be together for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
But you don't have to throw it away either.
Yeah, because that's the thing is, like, films like this, I mean, I know it's, the plot, but they make such a big deal out of like virginity. I suppose this one's not quite so much as who you lose it to, though. At least, like,
I mean, they want to have sex and keep having sex. It's not like they just want to tick it off.
Yeah,
but
I think this film isn't about that though. It's about social acceptance. It's about like they feel like outsiders, and throughout the film they learn that actually everyone is like this.
Yes.
Yeah, and exactly. Everyone is awkward as fuck. No one knows what they're doing.
Yeah, it feels like something you have to do to develop as a person.
Yeah.
You need to do that, which is the idea of virginity entirely, is you need to do that to develop as a person.
Yeah, I mean, I knew a lot of people who just saw it as something to get out of the way.
Yeah, again, it's because you can feel like you're locked out of being the rest of your life if you don't.
Yeah, and there's a lot of other films as well where it's like, they have to lose it because then it's not going to be as big of a deal next time, and there's quite a lot of films with that same sort of premise.
Yeah, because it's a teenager thing.
The one thing I will say that was quite yeesh, the only thing that really I thought was okay, obviously apart from the things we've already discussed, but the one thing was when they were setting out the ground rules at was it a diner they were eating at a cafe, and they're like, it has to be consensual.
Yeah, consensual and not paid for.
Yeah, and it was like, good. Weird you had to specify, but good.
That's a good ground rule.
And then it's like, part of me was like, did they just feel like they had to put that in there so like, if boys decide they want to try and sort of do American Pie?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Because none of them come across as that creepy.
No, but like, I get why they put it in.
Yeah.
This film tries really hard to not be misogynistic.
Yeah, the girls are very much seen as having the control and the say. And even when they're doing like the sex scenes at the end, there's a lot of asking, "Are you okay? Is this okay?"
Yeah,
and that kind of stuff, which is very good. Actually, I thought that was a very good thing to have in a film for teenagers.
And the one guy that tries to pressure a girl into having sex, the Stifler at the beginning, he immediately gets punished by his mate's semen. Yeah, this film very clearly makes a point of, apart from the weird filming scene, which is why it stands out and it's very strange to watch.
Yeah,
it makes a point of the women have the choice.
Yeah, you can only have sex with someone who wants to have sex with you. And getting them to want to have sex with you is actually a massive part of the challenge. Yeah,
that's the point.
And you can't get around it. You have to genuinely be wantable.
That's important. Yeah, that's the really important bit, is they develop from tricking to changing themselves.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to force the other person to change, they change themselves to be able to achieve that.
Yeah, it's not about making them have sex with me. It's about making them want to have sex with me versus making me have sex with them.
Yeah, it's important, and like that's why I think American Pie won. I don't think the rest of them do. I think the rest of them are a lot.
I think they probably go downhill very quickly because I think they rely too much on. I think it definitely. I think because the sticking power, because like I'd forgotten all of this film apart from Dick in Pie.
Yeah.
And Stifler's mum. Like those were the only. That's why I think the next films really go for the. In the back of my mind, because I've not seen all of them, because nobody has. As far as
I've seen all of them.
Oh, you poor thing.
I know. I regret it.
But they go for the shock factor, outrageous stuff, and not in a good way, because when you start to put outrageous in a sexual context, that can get rapey and weird.
Well, this film isn't actually that crass. It isn't actually that, apart from the weird scene, apart from the weird filming scene, this film isn't actually that, like, filthy in terms of, like, jokes and all that stuff. It's pretty... No,
you see his dick in a sock. At the start, but it's not in a like it's just funny. It's just so like silly.
I feel like that maybe they didn't expect this to be as popular as it was, and so as it takes off, they're like, oh, we'll just go for the funny stuff from it, and that's what the spin-offs become.
I fully imagine the producers, and like when producers got their teeth in, they went, you need to do the funny bits that everyone talks about.
They immediately Shrek 3'd it.
But actually the important bits are the lessons and what they learn and how they develop. It's like they kind of give up on that, I think, from memory.
And the girls having the control
and personalities,
I don't know. I mean, like the other ones I've seen in passing at
fleeting
best.
A long time ago.
I've not say the only bit I've seen is Stifler eating a dog shit, and that is the only thing that I know from the rest of American Pie, because like I say, I hadn't even seen this one. So
I'm glad we watched it though, because this was one that I was fully expecting to be awful, and we'd just be here like, oh my god, can you believe this got made? This would never get made today, kind of thing. But actually, I don't think if it was made today, I don't think much would be different.
I think it'd be changed. I think quite a bit of it would be like adjusted, but I don't think the actual like. I think it kind of would be good to come out now, actually, with the bits that need fixing. But I think like. That lesson is still important to teach teenagers.
Someone accidentally live streaming them making out, but it's blurry in the wrong angle, rather than it being like deliberate.
And actually punish them for it.
Yeah.
If it is deliberate, punish them for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you could get away with doing it deliberately without having that cast member then not get laid at the end.
Yeah.
So, but if you want it to be proper sort of American Pie in spirit, then it has to be like an accident that he atones for, and it's still punished in a way, but it's because he made a stupid mistake, not because he did something actually horrible.
He gets laid because he redeems himself.
Yeah.
From that point, I think it would be good for it to be made now because teach teenagers that being awkward is fine.
Yeah, being awkward is fine. Wanting to have sex is fine and normal. Be safe. I feel like they didn't really talk about condoms or anything like that. Well, does Dad give some condoms? I can't remember.
Yeah, his dad does.
Yeah.
Yeah, even when he's like going to prom, the dad's just like, be safe when you're doing it. Yeah.
How you put
when you're putting her corsage on, be careful.
And he's like slipping it. He's slipping him a condom. Yeah, it's This film was nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and I found it quite entertaining. It was silly.
I'd
watch it again.
There is a reason it is considered like a good film.
Yeah.
For 80% of it is great.
So
it was definitely more towards the end of it that I started to kind of enjoy it a lot more. Like, I feel like if it had carried on how it was at the start, like constantly, then I feel like it would have been a lot worse. But towards the end, I was actually starting to enjoy it. So
I think like 7, 6.5. Because it's a good. It has a lot of problems, a lot of serious problems. But it wasn't as like. Well, it wasn't going to be the. What's the opposite of like like magnum opus is like the best thing.
Yeah.
What's the opposite of that? I like the magnum opus of shit 2000s movies. That's what I thought it was going to be. Well, that's what I thought.
This is another ice cream brand. That took me a second. I was like, Solero, is that Latin for like sun and something? Is that Greek? No, he's just being.
That's it.
Yeah, I couldn't think of an opposite of opus though. I get what you mean. Sorry, Karen.
Yeah, that's it. There was just going to be
Pavalum opus.
Pavalum. What does that mean?
Poor or small work. So it's the opposite of magnum opus. If you
That
Google
is-
the opposite, that's what you get.
I thought it was going to be that
Like
of
one of the
2000s
mini
movies.
milks. Yeah. I'd probably give this 6 out of 10 times at Bandicamp. Yeah, like it was good enough. Like, yeah, not the worst thing. Yeah, I was especially considering the first funny thing that, like, apart from the parents walking in on him wanking, the first funny thing is Stifler drinking the cum beer. So I was like,
Which
if
we
it's
talked
just going
about
to carry
for
on like
20
this,
minutes.
then we've nearly been recording for as long as the film goes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
an important one
yeah,
to
I
talk
think
about.
I'd give it a 7. It gains an extra point because I think it really is a 6 film at best, but it gains a point for just being so much better than I thought it was going to be.
It's the opposite problem of every other film we watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally we're like, this is awful. Why did we like this?
The
This time I'm like,
expectation is so
oh yeah, I
low.
hadn't seen this. Yeah, I guess it's fine.
So maybe I should have enjoyed this as a teenager. Well, yeah. That was my...
I give this 7 very bad failed pickup lines out of 10. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot in it. But I think it's trying to do something good.
Yeah. 7 holes in a pie.
Your score just reminded me of something very funny that happened to me once. But we'll maybe we won't talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah. That's
I mean, no, it's not that bad. Okay, so basically once I
You
was
have to,
with
because
this girl-
everything that people are imagining is so much worse than whatever you're about to tell us.
No, it's just how fucking oblivious I was to stuff. So I was with this girl and we were listening to music and she went, I think this song would be great to make out to, and I just went, yeah, probably.
Oh, that's... I can see that.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
Just
I can see that.
completely went over my head.
I once had a boy say to me, he was like, "Oh, so you're good at languages then?" He was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, I think I was just saying, I've just been to France or something." He was like, "Oh yeah, I've been practicing my French," and he was like, "So what's French for kiss me?" And I just, told him and like carried on.
Walked away. Wow. He was being so smooth as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just being an idiot.
Yeah. No, I had a girl
Always
kind
a
of
bad start.
do that with me, where she was like making eyes and like holding my hand, and I have never panicked more in my life. My God. Because I didn't know why I was panicking at the time, but fuck, I was panicking. And
I guess now you know.
turns out not in like the normal way a teenage boy is supposed to panic in that moment.
Yeah, not the oh no, I've not got any condoms at home.
Yeah, in the like, why is this Phil wrong? It was fun. It was a fun time growing up.
Oh well.
Yeah, I guess now that it's fucking hell, it's nearly 11 o'clock at night. We've been recording very okay.
This was
before we embarrass ourselves.
This was an important film. Like this is like
this was really
what
worth
this
talking
podcast is
actually.
about. Like this is the film.
Yeah, every so often we do films that actually are on theme for the podcast.
I think we've done a great job of talking. I'm just going to say, pat ourselves on the back. We've actually talked about the film quite a lot.
We've done really well with this.
Yeah, we deserve a treat.
This is the 2000s movie that probably wouldn't have aged well.
Yeah.
Like, this is it.
What are we going to do next? I don't know. We'll figure it out. I've been Dan.
I've been Michael.
And I've been Helena. And you can always suggest films on our Discord, if you like, or on Twitter. We're at
Hilton Pod.
Hilton Pod. That's
HILTM
HILTM Pod.
That's
Yes.
HILTM Pod.
Yes.
We all said it. I wanted to join it.
We also have a Patreon where you can keep the show going. There are shout outs. You can let us know what films you enjoyed in your childhood. But yeah, hang on.
I
Wait.
honestly don't know. I don't think we have anything special to do.
Can we just make a pie but not fuck it?
Yeah, we'll make a normal pie.
We'll-
I've been
we'll use
making
the
mince
Patreon
pies
money.
recently.
Oh, I love mince pies.
Yeah, well, they're not vegan this year. Last year, almost all the like own brand ones were vegan.
When did
and this year they've got meat in, not meat in, not mince pie. They haven't just. Yeah,
you've accidentally picked up the wrong mince.
They've gone back to the Victorian method.
Yeah. They've all got milk powder in.
Oh.
So I've been I mean, when I say I've made mince pies, I have bought 2 ingredients. Pastry and mincemeat in a jar, and I have put the 2 together in an oven. So
that's making mince pies.
Yeah. But don't think I'm like, if someone's like, oh wow, it's like.
Well, you could have made them separately and like eaten, made like a pastry sheet and just
dolloped mincemeat on top.
Dolloped mincemeat on top and eating it like a sandwich.
My mum used to do that with She used to do this sort of thing. She called it rhubarb pizza. It was disgusting. It was her idea of a dessert that we'd get when. Oh God. It would be a sheet of puff pastry with rhubarb on it and like a bit of sugar, but not enough sugar, and ground almonds.
Huh.
And like baked in the oven until sort of roughly cooked, but not enough. And like rhubarb is so tart.
And it's wet as well.
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah.
Not good.
Anyway, that's what we're going to do on Patreon this time.
Make some mince pies.
Exactly what we just said. We're going to do
mince pies, apple pies, and a rhubarb pizza.
Not because I forgot what I couldn't.
And we're not going to put our dicks in any of it.
No.
Rhubarb
would sting. Gooseberries would be worse.
That's how you get an infection.
Anyone else used to piss on the rhubarb in the garden to help it grow?
Can you imagine someone you're sat in someone's car and they're like, "Do you mind if I just put the music on?" And it's just B-movie ASMR. You'd just be sat there like, what the fuck? I think that might be the ultimate power move as an Uber driver, is to put on the B-movie ASMR. Just like, do you mind if I just you get in an Uber and the guy's like, I'm just gonna put on some. Is it okay if I put on some music? And it's just fully the B movie, and it's like a 40-minute drive. Like you gotta listen to the majority of the B movie whispered to you.
When I took my parents my parents met up with me in Russia. We got a cab back from the airport because it's like they have quite strict rules about it being a flat rate.
Right.
So if you are picked up within the vicinity of the airport, it doesn't really matter wherever you get taken to. It's about it comes to like less than 20 quid.
Right.
And like sure it'd be I think five quid probably to take them by metro and everything, but that's a bit much after a long journey. The guy was straight up watching a film on his phone.
What was he watching? Was it the B movie?
It was something with zombies.
Oh,
and like it was quite violent, and he had the sound on. Like there was a lot of gunfire. And he didn't have his phone like holstered. Like this wasn't. He had it in his hand, and he was watching that because we were stuck in traffic. Like we weren't really going anywhere for a bit, and
he didn't even offer to be like, "Do you want to?"
There was no like, "Do you mind?" or I have to find out what happens.
Oh, my full response would be,
"I've got a podcast to record this evening. I need to finish watching this movie."
I'd be like, "Do you want to watch?" Just held it up in the middle.
I remember my parents just because like that's actually pretty unusual. Like I had taken loads of. Well, not loads, but like a fair amount of Ubers at that point, or the equivalent, what's it called, Yandex taxi or something, and that had never happened before. But my parents were just sat in the car, like, "Is this normal?
Is this normal Russian behavior?"
Like, what do we do? And they're looking at me like, really, like, we've just landed here. What is this? Is this safe?
Please speak Russian at this man and tell him to stop.
Hello, do you know the word for "Sir, can you stop watching this film in the taxi on your phone? It's very strange, and we are in your taxi to drive somewhere. Can you please pay attention to the road?" Do you know that in Russian?
I probably could have, but I was also quite flummoxed.
Yeah. Do you know the Russian
and I was
for this
like,
exact
in my mind,
situation?
I was like, well, he's only really watching it in traffic, so that's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want an argument. Like, I can do sort of I was quite good at, like, set predictable conversations in Russian at that point, but, like...
Yeah.
Couldn't really do... Like, if he argues back, I'm like, okay, no, I've run out of vocab.
Yeah, the set conversations you have, how are you, where's the bathroom, have you had a nice day, sir, can you please start watching this film in this taxi, or you are currently driving. You know, the set conversations that you have every day.
Yeah. The ones that they teach you as, like, standard, like...
Yeah, you have...
library.
You open the book, you learn what the word library is, you learn what the word house is, you learn your name, you learn how to say hello, and then you learn how to tell a taxi driver to stop watching a film.
That's all part of the test as well at the end of the year.
It's very specific as well, to have that test. It's very important.
I think they thought we were prepared.
No one's prepared for Russia, let's be honest.
No. I didn't feel particularly well prepared. But I'd been living there. That was in May, I think. Oh, was it May or March, I think? March. Like, I'd been there since August.
Yeah.
So, like, thankfully at that point my Russian...
was
I
okay.
I think I probably could have confidently said, please stop watching the video, or, like, please pay attention to the road.
Hey, what are you watching?
Oh, yeah, what are you watching? But I didn't. And also, I don't know if I kind of enjoyed the uniqueness of the situation.
Yeah. Anyway, should we watch a bit of Russian? Get a little bit of American Pie.
Yeah.
That was a bad segue. That was
wow.
Segue.
Speaking of segues, let's change the topic.
Shall we think?
Yeah.
Let's get off that Russian borscht. And let's move over to American Pie.
They have pies in Russia.
Yeah, but it's not... You don't fuck it.